I'm a walking disease factory. I'm covered with plague.
All it takes is a little self-control. I'm surprised you can't find it within you to wrestle your weakness. You all must be better, right?
You just touched your face.
What?
You scratched your cheek.
I did not.
You did. You did.
So what if I did? I wash my hands every 15 minutes. I wipe down every surface and doorknob on the hour. I'm completely germ-free and I'm completely under control.
You've got weakness like the rest of us. Today is a good day. We must wrestle with our weaknesses. Don't touch your face. Or gently live with them. Yeah.
So we knew that going into this fall, things were going to have to change because of COVID. And as the summer progressed, and we looked at other schools canceling their fall productions, I was in a workshop with the Iowa High School Musical Theater Awards Directors Symposium this summer. And we started brainstorming what are possible ways that our kids could still be involved in some way. And kind of came out of that. I sat around just taking all the ideas that I heard and putting them together, and a little bit of a reflection on a few years ago when we had our artist in residence, Anne-Marie Petersma here, that we could do some devised theater where kids created writing pieces and moments within our own show that's unique just to Spencer. Well, when we started, I put an idea board up in my room where I just said, fall show, we don't know the title, but it's going to be fun, and let people throw up different ideas. And I, wrote 5 or 6 up there. One of my students in my ECE class threw a couple up there. Other people would come in and add theirs to it, or the next couple days I'd come up with another one or somebody. And pretty soon the whole board was full, all the ideas out there. And then we had a production team meeting, and I talked to the cast, and then we had part of the creative team get together and narrow down those ideas. And then we talked about what those titles said about our show. And since our show is about basically teenagers surviving and thriving in the last 6 months, they decided Upstaged by a Pandemic worked because their spring show Clue was closed because of everything that was going on, and this whole idea that a lot of the things that they're used to have been taken away from them, so they feel upstaged. The idea that when you're acting on stage, somebody upstages you by putting themselves in front of everything that you're doing. Well, COVID has kind of upstaged them. In hindsight, I think we should have called it upstaging the pandemic, because we ourselves have finally kind of taken a hold of what the new normal is and figured out how to make things happen for them. So we did some royalties with some different scene work and things so that the kids have things that were already created for them, but then, like I said, our writing team has written for them. So there are all kinds of scenes that touch on, like in the beginning, how they felt when they first knew they weren't going to school as they normally were, and then how the summer kind of wore on. And we touch on things as far as like the relationships with their friends and their family and mental health, losing people, how they've grown and reestablished themselves in this time when they had time to reflect. There are songs intermixed in all of this, but everything is done on stage to keep all of the actors or all of the performers safe, as well as the audience safe. So the majority of the blocking is in 6 feet of social distance. All of the cast members will be wearing masks. When things do get closer, they're for very short amounts of time, and otherwise we're just trying to keep everybody at a place where that hopefully going forward we can have more performances such as this instead of being told that it's unsafe to do that. But the show as a whole will feel like you've come to a musical because there's music and acting, but it does not stay in the one theme of this is a drama or this is a comedy. It just kind of ebbs and flows, which is a lot like how their life has been for the last 6 months, give or take whatever day, how you met that challenge.
Well, all the productions I've been a part of in the past, there have been like designated roles that stayed consistent throughout the whole show. And ahead of the actual practices and auditions, we knew what was going to happen. And as we've gone to practices and we've kind of developed the show as we've gone along. And so when we began, unlike a previous production, when we began, we didn't necessarily know what it was going to look like at the very end. but we decided how we wanted it to be, and we kind of chose the ending as we were practicing. My writing team, there's about 15 of us, and we've written papers for English before, we've written papers throughout school, but we've never done script writing before. So it was a very new experience, and having read plays and performed plays, we've never written them, so that was probably one of the most challenging parts. But it was an amazing accomplishment once we could see our pieces being performed on stage.
Who's gonna survive for weeks on their own without talking to anyone? Me, who couldn't care less about keeping in touch with a single one of their friends? Me again. This is going to be easy. I wish I could quarantine for the rest of my life.
At the very beginning, I helped the writing team and we came up with themes. And so then I took the themes that we knew we really wanted to showcase, and I found songs that I felt told the story that we wanted to tell and accurately represented different perspectives during the quarantine. And then I took those and I choreographed them. And so intermixed in the show, there's songs like with the ensemble that we all sing, and there's soloists, and then there are also songs that are not sung and they're only danced to. And so those are the people that were in movement. We incorporate all kinds of dance. There is some hip hop, there's a ballroom dance that we all waltz on stage, and then there are a few lyrical pieces that are more emotional. So we have a variety.
I think it kind of gives a perspective of how our generation went through it, because I think it differs obviously between a lot of the audience will be our parents and adults. So I think it kind of gives a different perspective on maybe how they felt versus how we felt. So I think that's really cool and a way we can portray that.
I hope that depending on who the audience members are also, they can understand that, every single thing at Spencer High School is going through changes right now. The football team has to work differently. Volleyball has to work differently. But I hope that they look at what we're doing as well and seeing that we're still putting in all the effort, because we were thinking about not having a show at all. So I think that if they can understand that, we're going through the same struggles, it can help unite us as a school as well.
You follow all the rules, you swallow all the stories, and every night you wish on a star. Dreaming our day will come, trusting in allegories, and every morning, boy, look where you are.
I think that's an amazing part about my classmates and my generation is we've never faced something like this before, but the thing that stayed consistent throughout it was our personalities and our humor and our friendships. So we were able to write things that we really felt, and we know that this was a serious event, but stuff like the toilet paper fiasco back in March and all those things that happened, we were able to take some more lighthearted things and spin it with some of the more serious things like our mental health.
Scene from quarantine. Day 8. Day 8. So, things are fine. It's one thing to say it's going to be easy to stay at home all day when you had a choice. When you could go out if you wanted to. It's a whole different kettle of baloney when you can't.
But how is it going to happen? We have 1/3 capacity here in the theater for tickets to be sold. Right now they're on sale just to the parents, and the parents of each cast member are allotted a certain number of tickets. As of Monday, it will go on sale, whatever's left after the parents have purchased those tickets will go on sale to the general public, and we will fill this theater at, again, 1/3 capacity. The program that we use automatically social distances everybody as they buy their group seats, so it won't allow them to get too close to people that are not in their family group. And then there's a virtual option. And the virtual option will be live streamed. Fortunately, we have a great partnership with Spencer Municipal Utilities, and Karen and her group are going to come down and live stream all 3 of our shows so the community can see that. When they live stream, it's still a ticketed event, so they have to go, it's on our Facebook page and it'll be out in more media forms as of Monday when those tickets go on sale. But everybody you have to buy a ticket to have it live streamed into your home or onto your device.